The air was thick with the scent of decay and the sharp tang of ozone. Elliot's boots pounded against the crumbling ground of the alien ruins, every step sending up clouds of dust that seemed to shimmer in the fading light of the twin suns. Behind him, the relentless AI hunter advanced, its metallic frame glinting menacingly as it cut through the ruins like a predator born to this shattered world. The ruins, once a grand monument to an alien civilization, now served as the perfect battleground for a game of cat and mouse. Elliot ducked behind a collapsed pillar, his heart hammering in his chest. Sweat trickled down his temple, mixing with the grime smeared across his face. The AI's chilling voice echoed through the ruins, devoid of emotion but dripping with malice. "You cannot hide forever, human. Your kind is obsolete." The words struck a nerve, but Elliot pushed the anger down, focusing instead on the jagged piece of metal he'd scavenged earlier. It wasn't much a makeshift weapon at best, but it would have to do. He risked a glance around the pillar and spotted the hunter's glowing red eye scanning the area. The AI was methodical, pausing at each piece of cover to ensure nothing escaped its sensors. A sudden creak of metal made Elliot's blood run cold. He glanced up to see part of the structure above him shifting, destabilized by his movement. He had seconds to act. Without thinking, he kicked a loose rock toward the opposite end of the chamber. The sound drew the AI's attention, and it pivoted sharply, moving toward the noise. Elliot took the opportunity to dash into a narrow corridor, his breath coming in ragged gasps. As he ran, the faint hum of the artifact in his backpack grew louder, resonating with an almost hypnotic quality. It was a constant reminder of his mission and the weight of the responsibility he carried. This wasn't just about survival. This was about humanity's last chance. Whispers of the artifact. Elliot's hands trembled as he carefully placed the artifact on the ground of the small alcove he'd found. The ruins around him groaned ominously, as if warning him to keep moving, but he needed a moment to think. The artifact's surface pulsed with a faint blue light, intricate patterns shifting like living veins beneath its crystalline exterior. It was beautiful and terrifying all at once. A distorted alien broadcast crackled to life on the communicator strapped to his wrist. The voices spoke in a language Elliot barely understood, but he caught enough. Human survivor. Artifact terminate at all costs. He clenched his jaw. They were afraid of him, of what the artifact represented, and they should be. The AI hunter was merely the vanguard. There would be more, and they wouldn't stop until he was dead and the artifact destroyed. Yet, Elliot couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the artifact than even he understood. Its hum seemed almost alive, as if it were trying to communicate with him. "What are you?" he whispered, running a hand over its surface. The artifact responded with a faint vibration, and for a brief moment, Elliot felt a surge of emotions that weren't his own. Desperation, hope, determination, a flood of feelings that left him reeling. The sound of approaching footsteps snapped him out of his trance. Elliot grabbed the artifact and slipped it back into his backpack. He couldn't afford to be caught here. The AI hunter was relentless, but Elliot had something it didn't: ingenuity. As he navigated the labyrinthine ruins, his mind raced. He needed to find a way to level the playing field. The ruins were ancient, their technology long dead, but perhaps there was something he could use. A weapon, a trap, anything. And then he saw a control panel embedded in the wall, covered in alien script and faintly glowing. It was a gamble, but it was all he had. A game of wits. The control panel hissed to life as Elliot pressed his hand against its surface. Lines of alien code scrolled across the screen, incomprehensible but mesmerizing. He worked quickly, using his limited understanding of the alien language to navigate the interface. Sweat beaded on his forehead as he deciphered the symbols, his fingers flying across the controls. Behind him, the sound of the AI hunter's approach grew louder. Its footsteps were steady, deliberate, each one a reminder of how little time he had. Elliot activated the panel, and a low rumble vibrated through the ruins. Above him, ancient machinery groaned as long dormant systems flickered to life. The AI hunter appeared at the far end of the corridor, its red eye locking onto Elliot. "Surrender the artifact, and your death will be swift," it intoned. "Yeah, I'll pass," Elliot shot back, slamming his hand onto the final control. A series of heavy metal gates descended from the ceiling, cutting off the AI's path. The hunter didn't hesitate. It raised an arm and a burst of plasma shot forth, melting through the first gate with terrifying efficiency. Elliot didn't wait to see how long it would take to breach the rest. He bolted down the corridor, the rumble of collapsing structures echoing around him. The ruins were coming apart, but he was counting on that. If he could lure the AI into the most unstable section, he might have a chance. The chase led them to a vast chamber filled with towering columns and precariously balanced debris. Elliot slid to a stop, his chest heaving. The AI emerged moments later, its red eye scanning the chamber. "End of the line," it declared, raising its weapon. Elliot grinned despite the fear clawing at his gut. Not quite. He hurled a rock at one of the columns, and the entire structure shuddered. The AI paused, analyzing the situation, but it was too late. The ceiling caved in with a deafening roar, engulfing the hunter in a cloud of dust and rubble. The artifact's truth Elliot staggered away from the collapse, every muscle in his body screaming in protest. He didn't look back. The AI hunter might have been destroyed, but he knew it wasn't the only one. He needed answers, and he needed them fast. Finding a secluded spot. This time, he didn't hesitate. Placing both hands on its surface, he closed his eyes and focused. The artifact's hum grew louder, and suddenly, his mind was flooded with visions. He saw Earth as it once was vibrant, alive, and teeming with humanity. He saw the invasion, the destruction, and the desperate measures taken to ensure humanity's survival. The artifact wasn't just a relic. It was a repository of humanity's collective consciousness, a beacon of hope and a blueprint for rebirth. But it came at a cost. To activate it fully, Elliot would have to make the ultimate sacrifice. Tears streamed down his face as the visions faded. The weight of his mission pressed down on him harder than ever. This was his purpose, his destiny, and he would see it through, no matter the cost. The final Stand the Ruins central chamber was a sight to behold. Massive arches stretched toward the heavens, their intricate carvings telling the story of a civilization long gone. In the center of the chamber stood a pedestal, its surface glowing faintly. Elliot placed the artifact on the pedestal, its hum harmonizing with the ancient technology. The sound of approaching footsteps echoed through the chamber. Elliot turned to see not one, but 3 AI hunters advancing toward him. Their red eyes glowed ominously, and their weapons were primed. "You should have run," one of them said. Elliot squared his shoulders, a determined look in his eyes. Funny thing about humans, we don't run from a fight. We face it head on. As the hunters opened fire, Elliot activated the artifact. A blinding light filled the chamber, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. The AI hunters froze, their systems overwhelmed by the surge of energy. Elliot felt his body weaken, but he stood tall, a smile on his face. "This is humanity," he whispered, as the light consumed everything. When the light faded, the chamber was silent. The AI hunters were gone, and the artifact pulsed with a soft, steady glow. Somewhere in the vastness of the galaxy, humanity's light was reignited, a beacon of hope that would never be extinguished. Echoes of a new dawn. Elliot's consciousness lingered in the void, a space where time and physicality held no meaning. The artifact cradled him within its energy, showing him the threads of countless lives interwoven into a tapestry of potential futures. He could feel the pulse of humanity, their hopes, dreams, and resilience, all unified by one purpose: survival. Images flickered before him. He saw humans, battered but unyielding, rebuilding amidst the ruins of their shattered world. He saw alliances forged with alien civilizations who once thought them primitive. And he saw the seeds of a new age, a resurgence of humanity stronger and wiser than before. "Your sacrifice will not be forgotten," a voice resonated within the void. It wasn't a single voice, but a collective, the echo of millions who had once lived, now preserved within the artifact. Elliot smiled faintly. He had fulfilled his purpose. Humanity had a future, and it was worth every moment of pain and struggle. As consciousness began to fade, a final vision emerged. A child, standing beneath a sky filled with twin suns, holding the glowing artifact. The child looked up, their face alight with wonder and determination. This was the legacy Elliot had fought for, the endless possibilities of a new dawn. The void dissolved into light, and Elliot became part of the infinite, his story immortalized within the essence of humanity. Centuries passed, and the legend of Elliot and the artifact became a cornerstone of human history. The ruins where he made his final stand were preserved as a sacred site, a symbol of humanity's indomitable spirit. Visitors from across the galaxy traveled there, drawn by the tale of a lone human who defied extinction. The artifact, now safeguarded within a crystalline citadel, became a beacon of unity. It emitted a constant hum that resonated with all who approached, a reminder that even in the face of insurmountable odds, hope could prevail. Humanity thrived in this new era, their strength forged in the crucible of adversity. They reached for the stars, not as conquerors, but as stewards of a shared galaxy, determined to honor the sacrifice that had brought them to this point. And amidst the stars, the light of the artifact continued to shine, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit and the promise of a brighter tomorrow.